On August 4, 2025, an eerie silence fell over Everett, Washington. The city, once alive with the hum of machinery and the steady rhythm of progress, suddenly found itself enveloped in an unsettling calm. The Boeing wide-body jet assembly line, once a symbol of American industrial power and innovation, stood still, its massive doors sealed shut. The cavernous space, usually bustling with workers and the clang of tools, was now empty and motionless. This wasn't due to a mechanical failure or a labor dispute, but rather the latest and most dramatic blow in an escalating US-China trade war that has been simmering for years. Boeing's decision to halt production of its 707X and 787 Dreamliner models sent shockwaves far beyond the Pacific Northwest, rattling investors, suppliers, and entire communities dependent on the aerospace giant. China, both a vital market and a crucial manufacturing partner, had just imposed steep tariffs on American aerospace products and components, effectively cutting off a lifeline for Boeing's global operations. For years, industry experts and analysts warned that Boeing could become a pawn in this high-stakes conflict, caught between two economic superpowers vying for dominance. Now, that risk has become a stark reality, with the consequences unfolding in real time. The silence in Everett is more than just a factory shutdown. It's a sign of a global economic order in turmoil, where the rules of trade and cooperation are being rewritten. Boeing jets, assembled from parts sourced worldwide, once embodied the promise and complexity of globalization, connecting continents and economies. Now, that intricate web is unraveling, as supply chains fracture and uncertainty spreads across borders. The big question looms larger than ever. Can global supply chains survive in an era of rising nationalism and protectionism, or are we witnessing the end of an era? Tonight, we'll explore how we reached this crisis point, the details behind China's latest move, and the far-reaching consequences for workers, the industry, and for you at home. The story of Boeing's silent factory is a story about all of us, and the uncertain new world we're entering together. Stay with us as we uncover what comes next. To understand today's crisis, we need to look back. For decades, US-China trade was a balancing act, mutual benefit mixed with rivalry. American companies flocked to China for cheap manufacturing and a vast market, hoping economic ties would foster openness. But beneath the surface, concerns grew: intellectual property theft, forced tech transfers, and a ballooning trade deficit. The Trump administration's 2018 tariffs marked a turning point, sparking tit-for-tat escalation. A temporary truce in 2020 left core issues unresolved. The Biden administration kept most tariffs and added new tech restrictions. China, meanwhile, doubled down on self-reliance and global influence. Targeting Boeing is the latest and most dramatic move in this long, simmering conflict. On July 28, 2025, China struck back against new U.S. tech restrictions with punishing tariffs. A 25% tariff on imported large commercial aircraft and a 50% tariff on key aerospace components hit Boeing where it hurts. The timing was deliberate, just after the U.S. tightened rules on Chinese tech investments. For Boeing, China isn't just a customer. It's a partner in the world's fastest-growing aviation market. The tariffs price Boeing out of China, handing an edge to Airbus and China's own Comic. Worse, Boeing relies on Chinese-made parts for its planes. The new tariffs make building them in the US nearly impossible. The production halt wasn't a choice. It was inevitable. On August 1st, Boeing's CEO called the situation untenable. The company announced a phased shutdown of its 707X and 787 lines, effective August 4th. Over 30,000 workers in Washington and South Carolina were suddenly furloughed, with only health benefits guaranteed for now. The financial hit billions in lost revenue, undelivered planes, and angry customers worldwide. Boeing's just-in-time manufacturing system, once a model of efficiency, proved fragile in the face of global disruption. Sourcing new suppliers would take years and billions. No quick fix. Unlike past crises, this is a political problem beyond Boeing's control. As one union leader put it, "Our jobs are now hostages in a trade war. The company, its workers, and its community are caught in the crossfire." The shutdown is a stark reminder. Even giants can be brought to a standstill by forces far beyond their walls. The future is uncertain. The Boeing shutdown ripples far beyond Everett. For every Boeing job, several more exist in its vast supply chain. Small manufacturers, logistics firms, and local businesses nationwide. As Boeing halts orders, suppliers lay off workers, and communities feel the pain. Globally, airlines waiting for new, fuel-efficient jets face delays, higher costs, and possible route cuts. Airbus, with its own China plant, stands to gain, potentially shifting the balance of power in aviation. The message to multinationals: no company is immune to geopolitical risk. Companies may rethink global supply chains, leading to higher costs and slower growth. The world could see a costly retreat from globalization. Consumers everywhere will feel the impact. Boeing's shutdown is a bold move in the US-China power struggle. China's targeting of Boeing shows it's willing to endure pain to pressure the US. The US hit China's tech sector. China hit America's industrial heart. Political pressure in the US will mount, especially in key states with thousands of affected workers. The White House faces a tough choice: hold firm on tech restrictions or seek compromise to save American jobs. Allies are watching, wary of being caught in the crossfire and eyeing opportunities for their own industries. The world may split into rival economic blocs, accelerating global fragmentation. The old belief that economic ties prevent conflict is being tested. The Boeing shutdown signals a new era of economic warfare. For deeper insight into the unfolding situation, I sat down with Dr. Evelyn Reed, a leading US-China trade expert who has spent decades analyzing the complex relationship between the two economic giants. Dr. Reed told me she wasn't surprised by China's latest move, but she emphasized that it marks a significant escalation in the ongoing trade tensions. Boeing was once seen as untouchable, a symbol of American industrial strength and innovation, she explained. Now, Beijing is willing to accept short-term pain for the sake of gaining long-term leverage in the global marketplace, she said, highlighting the strategic nature of the decision. Targeting Boeing, Dr. Reed explained, is a direct strike at the heart of American advanced manufacturing and a calculated move to send a message. It's a dangerous tit-for-tat cycle, pushing us ever closer to a full-scale economic decoupling between the world's two largest economies. A quick resolution? Unlikely, Dr. Reed warned, given the entrenched positions on both sides. Neither side wants to blink first. Both are digging in, preparing for a prolonged standoff, she observed. The production halt at Boeing could last for months, with ripple effects throughout the industry. For average Americans, the impact is real and immediate. Foreign policy isn't foreign anymore, it's hitting home, Dr. Reed noted. Job losses in Seattle and beyond can start with a single policy decision made in Washington, D.C. If global supply chains break up, costs will rise for everyone, from airline tickets to smartphones and even everyday goods. This is the new reality we all have to face, Dr. Reed concluded, her tone resolute. The economic pain will be felt on both sides of the Pacific, affecting businesses, workers, and families alike. The world is watching closely, waiting to see who will blink first in this high-stakes standoff. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the outcome will shape the global economy for years to come. Beyond headlines and stock charts, the human cost is staggering. For every number on a spreadsheet, there's a family facing uncertainty and a community feeling the impact. Michael, a 22-year Boeing veteran, said, "This isn't just a job, it's who we are. Our work shapes our identity, our pride, and our sense of purpose. Now I have to tell my daughter, I don't know what's next." Local businesses are reeling, and families are left searching for answers. Maria, a cafe owner, told us, "My morning rush is gone. The regulars I used to greet every day have vanished, and the silence is unsettling. If workers don't come back, I may not survive." The ripple effect is felt on every corner. Technical colleges and apprenticeship programs face uncertainty as the pathways they built for students suddenly disappear. With job offers on hold and students' futures in limbo, hope is replaced by anxiety. "We trained for these jobs, and now they're gone," said a community college director. Years of preparation now seem in vain. The shutdown's ripple effects threaten entire communities, from main streets to neighborhoods, leaving a void that's hard to fill. These stories remind us, economic policy isn't abstract. It's not just numbers. It's real people, real struggles. It's about families, dreams, and livelihoods. Every decision made at the top echoes through living rooms across the country. The workers at Boeing are more than statistics. They're the backbone of an industry, the hands that build our future. Their voices are a powerful reminder of the real stakes. Their stories deserve to be heard. The pain is local, but the lesson is global. What happens here ripples across borders and industries. This is the true cost of conflict, a cost measured not just in dollars, but in disrupted lives and broken dreams. We're at a crossroads, not just for Boeing, but for the global economy. The next steps depend on leaders in Washington and Beijing. Escalate or negotiate. Pressure is mounting from workers, businesses, and allies worldwide. But powerful political forces in both countries push for a tougher line. The outcome will decide if Boeing's shutdown is a temporary shock or the start of a long economic winter. As citizens, we're not powerless. Stay informed, engage with your leaders, and demand solutions. This isn't a simple story of heroes and villains. It's a test of leadership and vision. The assembly lines are quiet for now. Their future depends on the choices we make. The world is watching. I'm Anderson Cooper. Thank you for watching.